Alrighty. Uh, the hell. The movie for October 22nd was Dead Silence. Dead Silent. Um, 2007. James Wan directed. Pretty good actually. I was surprised. I'd never really heard of this one. I mean, I feel like James Wan has come up a few times before now. I mean, we're pretty late into it. I feel like I just mentioned him a few times. Obviously, watching Saw, he directed the first Saw. And then I think when I talk with like the Nun specifically, I brought up Malignant and Conjuring and Insidious. Um, but yeah, I mean like dude just has like a hand in like a lot of these like more like iconic or not even I don't know, I guess a little iconic, right? But like longer running series like in the horror genre. And then of course he has like Aquaman and shit. But those movies are actually just like entertaining at the very least, right? Um, No, but this one was cool because I'd never heard of it, honestly. Never heard of it, so when I put it on, I wasn't really expecting anything. Um, and then yep, right there in the opening credits, see James Wan name, and I'm like, okay, cool. We might have a little something going on here. And for a large part of it, I enjoyed it. Um, I was thinking while I was watching it, I was like, okay, well, James Wan is behind this, like, and this is pretty early in his career. Like, what are some like similarities? Because I guess like the biggest thing he had at that time was just Saw, right? This came out a few years after Saw, uh, and it's very different. I mean, the only similarities obviously is just like the way it's shot, pretty much. And Saw, from memory, or at least whenever I think about Saw in general, it's always like kind of dark looking, and there's always like that like sort of yellow tint, or like there's always a tint in a Saw movie for some reason. Um, but in this one, like similar thing, it's like very dark a lot of the time, and then it has like a sort of blue tint like over the whole thing, which looks nice for the most part, and I think it kind of fits as well. It like makes the whole movie feel like a bit dreary. I mean, especially because it's like happening like in a small town for the most part. I think I don't know, like the aesthetic just kind of tracks, right? Sort of reminds me of like Silent Hill a little bit, like sort of like foggy, small town sort of setting. So pretty cool in that regard. I like that. Um, yeah, puppets. I mean, I feel like when you think puppets, you think Goosebumps. Me personally, I think that at least. Um, and like whenever I track these movies on Letterboxd, sometimes I'll like look at a few of the comments. I mean, again, it's just like real quick tangent about Letterboxd. The reason why I don't like it that much, I mean, very useful tool for like tracking movies and like having all of that. And I think it's nice as well, at least for this, just to like remember. Like sometimes I'll watch something and I'll track it, and I'll like forget the name of it pretty quickly. I don't know, I just got a bad memory sometimes. But so it's useful for that, and I like that. But the thing I don't like is how a lot of the time the people on there commenting, a lot of it's like just to make a joke or whatever. It's never anything about like, oh, how much they love the movie. I mean, some people do that, but they're never top comment. Uh, you got to be funny if you want to be top comment, I guess. But one of the comments I saw was somebody talking about how it sort of felt like like higher kind of PG-13 like Goosebumps episode. I'm like, yeah, I could see that. Because it is like almost like fairy tale esque. There's a bit of like a folklore surrounding these puppets. In this small town, they have this like little like nursery rhyme type thing about a woman who gets killed, and then I guess she's using these puppets as like an outlet to get her revenge. So pretty interesting in that regard, and yeah, it does seem like some Goosebumps type thing. Uh, and like the whole time I felt like I was engaged, right? Because I mean, initially it's about like a man and his wife, and the wife gets killed by one of these puppets, um, and then the guy's basically like under investigation the whole time, while he's also trying to investigate like the true cause of his wife's death. So he goes back to his hometown. Um, and then it's funny too. What's his name? Mark Wahlberg's brother, Donnie Wahlberg. I was again just like opening credits. I saw Donnie Wahlberg and I was like, Donnie Wahlberg. I instantly started thinking about Marky Mark. Um, but yeah, just made the connection really quick with their brothers, and you can kind of see it he has like the same eyes and like nose shape, so like general face in this area, sort of like him, but he looks different. But you can still kind of see it. But yeah, he was good in it too, actually. And I liked his character. I mean, his character in that kind of reminded me of like Mark Wahlberg's character in something like The Departed, right? Um, just because I mean, in this, he's like a investigator of sorts. He's investigating the wife's murder, and the suspect is the husband, obviously. And then obviously in The Departed, Mark Wahlberg plays the investigator, or like just someone on the police force. Um, yeah, but his character was cool, and I mean that's the thing as well. I feel like it's kind of tropey where like the whole time you have this person who's like hounding and like doesn't believe the main character like in their story. And I mean, fair enough because it seems very fantastical, right? It's like, oh well, like the dog killed my wife, not me. And then as an officer, it's like, all right, what's like like what's the real story, man? Like you're the only one there. So that makes sense. But the thing I like is that by the end of it, he actually does like switch over, and they become like a little team almost. At least in like the final confrontation, because after the husband's like pieced everything together, he's gonna go confront the woman that like started this like little curse. And the officer follows him there, obviously. And then it's like, well, like things are happening right now in this house, so like we kind of gotta go figure that out. And of course they sort of join up and they like work together like on that aspect, and I like that. Because I feel like the other thing to do would have been and again, man, like when you think of tropes, it's like you can think of it so perfectly, but you can never say exactly like which movie it's from, or but this is just something that would have been a cliche, I guess, right? For the officer to like not believe him, and then like keep hounding him like while they're there, and he's like, oh, officer, like there's somebody behind there, and he's like, yeah, right, and then he gets killed, because he didn't believe the protagonist. I feel like that would have been something like easier to do, but I'm glad they didn't do that. It makes that character seem a bit more clever, right? Or not clever, but at least smarter than like your average just like dumb cop that you just want to like kill off just to kill off because it's a horror movie. And I mean, in this, like he does die still, yeah, spoiler, but it's a bit more dignified, right? Because at least he was like fighting alongside the protagonist. I don't know, just something I appreciated. Um, but yeah, everything building up to the very end, I enjoyed a lot, right? Just like small investigation stuff. Something I really like too is like a lot of these like smaller lighting choices. There's a bit where the husband is like in his hotel room, and like the doll is just like kind of sitting there, and you just see like that like red neon flashing from the sign outside the motel, and it looks good. Again, I said it kind of has that blue tint, so it's like the contrast, right? Red and blue and red, however you want to see it. But I thought it looked good. And then there's another thing too with this. I don't know what you would call her, like witch or whatever. What are they called? Puppet master, ventriloquist. Um, with this ventriloquist lady that the curse like is pointing towards. I guess whenever she's about to like strike, everything goes like quiet. All you hear is just like the like sound effects. Very cool, I think, and very different. It's something I don't think I've ever really seen before, and they do it like maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the movie, so it's not like overplayed. It's always used at the right moment, just to add a bit more tension, and it's really cool. It's a really cool effect. So I mean, again, just like positives all around. I think a lot of the like light gore stuff is effective as well, because I mean like the whole point of her is like she like cuts off your tongue, or like almost like bottom jaw to the tongue. I mean, just same like with a ventriloquist dummy, right? You know how they have the split mouth. She's basically taking that part of you, um, and it's a cool visual. I mean, even with like the wife's death at the very beginning, I thought it was interesting because like obviously a bit shocking, right? Like you just see like the jaw unhinged and like the tongue missing. But then it also like her skin's a bit cracked, almost like porcelain, right? Like with the little porcelain dot. So I thought that was cool too, and you see it a few times, especially at the end with the officer again, because he ends up getting killed, and you see his like body like pop out and like flash, and I mean it's the same thing, like jaw missing. and like porcelain cracked skin. Very cool visual. Um, what else? I mean, yeah, just like very positive feeling on this movie. Quite effective in the scares for the most part. The only complaint I have, and I mean, it's not really a complaint; it's kind of a nitpick, just because it takes me out of it a little bit. But at the very end, I guess James Wan couldn't hold back. He had a little bit of his James Wan isms or something, because it basically turns into like a Saw edit. I think I talked about it whenever I was talking about Spiral. What is it? The Chris Rock Saw movie, right? Um, where it's like the quick edit, quick flashes, and you get like a quick cut of like them thinking about all these like little things like added up to the very end. But they're just like grabbing their head. They're like, oh man, I can't, like I'm piecing it all together. But yeah, it's literally just like a Saw edit at the very end as he's like piecing together, uh, like this curse and like how his like dad plays into it and stuff like that. Because I mean, the twist is the uh, the ventriloquist was alive all along. She basically made a doll that she could live in, which is this woman that gets introduced as the protagonist's stepmom. Um, and the dad was a puppet all along. So I mean, kind of interesting, nice little twist. Um, but yeah, I just thought it was funny, and again, it like pulled me out for a quick second just because it reminded me so much of Saw and like the way like every single Saw movie plays out now. Where they have that like revelation by the end, and they're like piecing it together, and it's again like the quick shots and them like holding their head and shit. A little goofy, honestly, but I mean, like, yeah, they do it at the end of this. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Like, I had fun up until then, so it's not really that big of an issue. Um, so I mean, with how positive I've been, obvious recommend. A little underrated. I mean, again, never really heard too many people talk about this one, but it's enjoyable. And I mean, I enjoyed it on my own, so, but still watch it with some people, right? Talk about it. But yeah, that's it for today. Uh, Take care.